intro gets me every single time. I feel like, and this is maybe talking directly to Chris, our producer, put that together for our 100th episode. That was maybe 19 or 20 episodes ago back in June or July, whatever that was. Chris, our producer, put that together. And every time I watch it, I see something I've never seen before. There's so much going on in there, but there's this one part where I think the video it looks black and white, and I think Chris sped it up a little bit, and it's just like Jeff and I having this conversation, and my hands are moving really quickly. I don't know what I'm doing, but it looks really funny sped up. So, but again, thank you, Chris, for putting that together. It's such a fun and uplifting introduction. So, welcome to Lancaster Connects. My name is Ben. Partner Jeff G is kind of on the mend this afternoon. He had a little bit of a back issue, and so I said, "Hey, dude, stay home, take care. I got the show. I got a great guest today. We'll talk about a great contest that we've got going on that just kind of blew up this past week. Got a lot of entries. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But Lancaster Connects is a show highlighting great people doing amazing things in Lancaster County. We highlight organizations like nonprofits and charitable organizations, highlight the great work they're doing in Lancaster County and beyond. And also small businesses and also big businesses like the one we have on today. I won't ruin the surprise. We'll get to our guest in just a minute. But yeah, we literally have one of the biggest businesses in Lancaster, and they can stake claim that they are the biggest version of their business in the United States, which is just really, really cool that it's right here in Lancaster County. So we'll bring our guest on in a minute. But yeah, small businesses, organizations, just really shining a light on the great things that people are doing in this amazing county of Lancaster. And of course, I'm Ben. Gardner's Mattress and More is our business, Jeff and my business. And we produce this show within our four walls here. Gardner's Mattress and More is right across from Park City Mall on Plaza Boulevard. And we are your wake up happy store. We help people wake up happy every morning. That's what we do here. I do also want to shout out another great business on Plaza Boulevard, who also happens to be our sponsor for this month of November. They are attached to our building. I'm pointing this direction because that is where they are. Vanscoy, Maurer and Bash Diamond Jeweler. There they are. Mark Sr., Mark Jr., and Lisa there on the screen. Family business. Vanscoy, Maurer and Bash Diamond Jewelers. They specialize in engagement rings and diamonds. Rolex, David Yurman, unique brands that you really can't get anywhere else. And even more of some of the most desirable designers. The team at Vanscoy, Maurer and Bash Diamond Jewelers, they worked really hard for 55 years. 55 years. Gardner's has been around for 33 years now. We're actually just celebrated our 33th anniversary, but 55 years in Lancaster. They've ensured that they can cater to every need. They can make your shopping experience seamless and, of course, rewarding. Wonderful company. Chris has their information, their website up there on the screen. There's their beautiful building, again, that we're kind of attached to in the back there. They just redid the front of it not too long ago. There's some stories on the website there. Really encourage you to go to their website. There it is out there on the screen, vmbjewelers.com. Of course, we're coming into the holiday season, one of probably their biggest season, that and Valentine's Day. Mother's Day, probably the big three for them. But we always notice an influx of cars in the parking lot during these holiday time periods. But wonderful, wonderful business. We're so thrilled that they are our sponsor for Lancaster Connects for the month of November. This month, all month long, come in to Vanscoy, Maurer and Bash Jewelers, mention Lancaster Connects, mention that you heard them on the Lancaster Connects podcast, and you can get $100 off any purchase over $400. So 25% savings right off the bat. Just mention Lancaster Connects when you shop at Vanscoy, Maurer and Bash Jewelers. I think that's it for our introduction. Oh, yeah, let's thank you, Chris. We're doing a contest. We started doing a contest with last month's sponsor, Whiff Roasters, and Whiff gave away a coffee goodie basket. And we announced the winner last month, but now we got a new contest going, and boy, is it off to the races. We're got Van Scoy Maurer and Bass Jewelers was kind enough to donate a set of diamond earrings, $200 value. This would make a great Christmas gift for wife, loved one, girlfriend, child, daughter, whatever. Or maybe you'd like them for yourself. Easy to enter. Just go to LancasterConnects.com/contest. Chris has it up there, right there on the screen. There's actually 4 different ways to enter. The first way is you subscribe to Lancaster Connects email. So just name and email. Very simple. After you do that, you have 3 additional opportunities. You can like us on Facebook, like Lancaster Connects on Facebook. You can visit the Lancaster Connects YouTube page and subscribe. And that's another way to enter. And you can also subscribe to the podcast on the various podcast players. And there are links to do that after you subscribe. So subscribe first, and then you have 3 additional opportunities. We are up to 135 entries right now. So a lot of people have entered, but hey, there's still good odds. Get in. You'll be kept up on all Lancaster Connects news over time and all future contests that we run with future sponsors, and you'll stay in touch with Lancaster Connect. So we appreciate all the people that have entered to this point, and this contest runs through, 2 more shows after this one. So at the end of the month, I think it's the Monday after Thanksgiving. Don't know what that date is, but we will announce the winner of the earrings on that show. So hopefully we'll get a bunch more entries, and one lucky winner will be announced at that time. All right. Thank you, Chris, for that reminder there. I think we're ready to announce our guest. Hopefully everybody's waiting with bated breath here. We've got, like I said, we've got the largest business of this, I'll say restaurant. I can break that as restaurants type in the United States. Amazing to have Lin Weaver from Shady Maple Smorgasbord. There he is in his office there at Shady Maple. Lin, welcome to the Lancaster Connects.
Thank you so much. Great to be here.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's really cool having you on. A lot of the businesses and organizations we highlight are smaller organizations, kind of like our store, that sort of thing. But every once in a while, we pop these big guests. And like when we started talking about bringing Shady Maple, I was like, they're a big company. Maybe they won't want to be on Lancaster Connects. But it's so kind of humbling for you to be on. Shady Maple's been around for a long time. You've got the Smorgasbord, you've got the farm market, you've got all kinds of things going on up there. And I can't wait to learn about, because I really don't know the history of Shady Maple. I'm 45 years old myself, but I've only lived in Lancaster for the last 25-ish. So I really don't know. I went to Shady Maple as a child, but I don't know the history of Shady Maple, and I don't know that our listeners know either. So maybe you'd like to start kind of, I know you have a family history with the business. You grew up in the business. Maybe you can kind of start from the humble beginnings and talk a little bit about, how the business grew and what you do there.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much again for this opportunity.
You're welcome.
I'm 47, so I only have 2 years on you. But yes, the neat thing about this business is it literally started before I was born. This business started in 1970. And even before that, my grandparents, which would be my mother's mom and dad, they owned the original farm where this property is now. And it literally was a farm. They grew produce, fruits, vegetables, and they sold them along the road. They called it a roadside stand. And that's where the name came from. So many people ask, like, Shady Maple, what an odd name. Like, where'd that name come from? And I love telling people how the name came into existence, where they grew produce. My grandparents grew produce, and they had extra produce a lot of times, and they wanted to sell it. So they put up a little stand along the road, and it was always hot outside during the summertime, so they put it underneath a maple tree. And everybody used to come and say, "Oh, it's so nice and shady here." And somehow Shady Maple was started catching, and it stuck. And in 1970, when my father, and his young 20-some-year-old man, he decided that, hey, I want to do something different. He was driving truck and doing some other jobs. And my parents, my grandpa was a deacon at church, and he wanted to do less work, less responsibility per year. And so they got together and they decided that he's going to take this over and grow produce. And he's like, well, I want something year round. So in 1970, they built a 3,000 square foot grocery store. They called it a farmer's market.
Okay.
And very small, very tiny, no air conditioning. And we often say, looking back, like, if you had tried this now, it would never work.
Okay.
It just wouldn't work. Like 3,000 square feet, no air conditioning. But the cool thing is, back in 1970s, it worked great.
Sure.
From day one, God's hand was on it and blessed it. And yes, there was tons of up and downs and struggles, but
as always,
it thrived. Every time there would be enough of money, we would grow and build on. And through the 70s and 80s and 90s, we had quite a few remodels. Not too long ago, we did an additional remodel here at the grocery store, the farmer's market.
Okay. And
it was our 17th major remodel, overhaul, facelift edition.
Wow. And that's almost like
we keep evolving and keep building on. And
wow.
Yeah. The Smorgasbord was built originally back in the 1980s.
Okay.
Just a small, tiny restaurant with a Smorgasbord buffet concept. And everybody wondered, like, will that ever work in Lancaster County? That might work other places, but Lancaster, like buffet, like it just was pretty new concept for this area for back in the 80s. And to have a large buffet, like I said, and so we started with small and soon doubled the size to 600 seats. And by late 1990s, we're like, wow, we're out of room again. Like the lines are getting an hour and a half, 2 hours long on Saturday evening. So started planning the next edition, and we built a whole new place in 2000, the Shady Maple Smorgasbord, where it's at now.
Yep.
And then in 2005, we doubled that again, and we now can seat 2,000 people at one time. So they needed the Smorgasbord.
That is amazing. 2,000 people at a time, and you probably still have people waiting. I can't get it all at once.
Yeah, literally last weekend, Friday and Saturday, we had lines outside. We have a really large foyer, if you've never been there before.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
the lines were literally out the door, down the sidewalk, that you can see the picture there. And we do the best we can not to have lines, but the lines are down the sidewalk. And the fun part is, even if the line is down the sidewalk, a lot of people will drive up and be like, oh, no, like, I'm not waiting in that line. But it does go really quick.
Yeah.
Rarely the wait more than like 40 minutes long. And we can really, with the amount of seats we have, we can turn fast, and the line goes really quick. And most people are really glad they waited and didn't try and go somewhere else.
Of course. Oh my gosh, there's so many things. I've got some like pre-planned questions and like questions I just wrote down. There's so many things I want to ask you. So since you just mentioned the lines, I think one of the cool things about the property there is you not only, you have the farm market, you mentioned Shady Maple, but if you have to wait in line, or let's say the hour was the wait was an hour, there's other things that you could do while you wait, where like most places you go and you're waiting for a restaurant, you're just waiting there for an hour. There's nothing else to do. But on the Shady Maple property, there's all kinds of things for you to do, right?
Yeah, it's so true. We literally call this a destination plaza. It's not just a restaurant. We have the farmer's market, which is a supermarket, 150,000 square feet. We have an RV business that's adjacent to us, a Shady Maple RV. And then on the plaza also is a gift shop that's in the Smorgasbord, is in the basement. Right. And that's over 40,000 square foot, close to $3 million worth of inventory, 100,000 unique items. 100,000 unique items. If you can't find something you like, I think something's wrong with you. And it's really neat because people come in here and they're like, this is not a gift shop. We're like, well, what is it? They're like, we don't know. Because it's such a conglomeration of different things, anything from toys to collectibles to furniture to literally candles, you name it, we have it. And so people are like, we don't know what to call it, so I guess we'll just call it a gift shop.
So since we're talking about the gift shop, is there like something that somebody comes to the gift shop and seeks out? Like, I think you do quilts and other things. Like, is there one hot thing that people seem to really enjoy shopping for at the gift shop, or is it, 100,000 things? You've got plenty of options there.
The neat part about it, I think there's something for everyone. So everyone has their personal favorite and they can find it. We sell anything from really high-end binoculars for $1,000 to a $2 toy item for a child. And speaking of toys, that has really been trending strong the last couple of years. Okay. A lot of people are seeking us out for destination to buy toys for Christmas and or any time of year for birthdays. And so that's really been trending really well. Anything from jewelry to everything else that it's just, we try to stay really competitively priced with in line with competition, and feel that really has been strong for us, where people can get a fair price and have a great shopping experience.
So that's cool. So you could plan out, and I'm sure people do this. You could plan like to come there on a Saturday, eat dinner, but like all afternoon, you could be like, and lead up to the Christmas holiday, you could be Christmas shopping, do probably all your Christmas shopping at the Shady Maple gift shop, and then go eat your buffet dinner. I mean, do you get people to do that?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Like literally Saturday, I was working in the different buildings here, and I walked across a parking lot from one building to the other parking lot, and I'm seeing license plates from New York, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland. We normally in a normal day will get 5, 6, 7 different states here, where a lot of people come here at the destination. They'll eat a great meal. They'll get some gift shop items. They'll get some groceries. A lot of people bring a cooler. They'll pack it full of meats and different other refrigerated items and take them home. And a lot of people look at it as a destination. Like last Friday, I talked to a person that was from Wilkes-Barre. Mm-hmm. And I said, what brings you down here from Wilkes-Barre? I said, that's a long drive.
3
There's
hours,
no real route. And I think you say it's an hour and a half down here. He said, I live close to a city. It's really busy. And it's just, he said, one of the reasons I come here so often, he said, I come here because it feels peaceful. He said, something about this community, something about the farmland, even the customer service that I experience inside the grocery store and inside the restaurant. He said, I just feel peace when I'm here. Mm-hmm. I'm happy. He said, what more can you ask for? He said, it's a great little retreat I get to do, and I do my shopping on top of it. And
that's awesome.
So we have a lot of people that will almost use our plaza as an excuse to get out of the city, the busyness, just have a really exciting day with their family and make some great memories with their family. We have a lot of people that created family traditions off of our Florida Plaza.
Well, that, we had months ago, we had on Sight and Sound, and Sight and Sound is one of those Lancaster destinations where you get a lot of people, a lot of locals go to the show too, but you get a lot of people coming in from the, 5 or 6 states around Pennsylvania, the 3, 4, 5 hour drive in some cases. And I think Shady Maple is in that, if you're going to watch a show on Saturday afternoon at Sight and Sound, your dinner is going to be planned at Shady Maple. And I'm sure people do that loop, between those two businesses and other Amish destinations, and, the beautiful bed and breakfasts we have around here. And, there are a lot of really, really cool destinations in Lancaster County. So, it's cool that you provide such an experience that, people from bigger cities can come in and feel, a sense of relaxation, and calm. I think that's super cool.
Yeah. The owners of Sight and Sound are literally our family friends. They're great people.
Yep.
We're so honored to partner with them. We partner with them quite a bit, where people will do a meal here and then they'll go to Sight and Sound or vice versa. It's been a beautiful partnership we had with them for many, many years, where they're such a blessing to our community.
I could see, for me, I'd have to do the meal after the performance, because like you go to a buffet, you're not going to just eat a small plate of food. You're going to eat a big plate of food, and then you're going to be like, I don't know. I get tired after I eat a lot of food. So I would think I'd want to do the show first and Shady Maple second. So I want to go back, talking, when you were talking about, the farm stand, and how they developed the farm stand back in the 70s, I think you said. That's another thing that I think is really, really unique to Lancaster County. I know there's other places where you can see roadside stands, produce stands, whatnot, but Lancaster, it seems like every little community has multiple farms that have roadside stands, and you just don't see that other places. And it's really cool to hear how, from this little roadside stand under a maple tree, under the shade of a maple tree, grew into this unbelievably large and impactful business in the community. So, and then I know you grew up in the business. Can you talk a little bit about your experience? I mean, because Shady Maple is really, it's in your blood, right? It's like, it's what you've known all your life. So can you talk about like growing up as a young child in the business and then evolving into working in the business and beyond?
Yeah. Thanks for the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
I literally grew up in the business, and my parents, when I was young, they worked a lot of hours in the business, 60, 70 hours a week often. Mm-hmm. And part of the way that I grew up is I would be with them as they're doing work in the business, especially in the summertime when I'm not in school. Or some weeks my dad would say, as a small child, he'd say, "Hey, we're going to go to Delaware and buy a load of watermelons this week." So get an 18-wheeler, my father would drive, and we'd go down the highway to Delaware and buy a load of watermelons right out of the farmer's field. And I'd help load them into the 18-wheeler or bring them back. I'd help unload them, then I'd help put them on the shelf and for customers to see and display it. But that literally was my upbringing from little on up. I was working different departments, and I always enjoyed it. I always loved just the service industry of supplying food to people and seeing so many people in a week. I mean, we get up to 30,000 unique people through the plaza per week. And it's such an honor to be able to see so many different people on a weekly basis. I'm a people person, as you probably can tell. I love being around people. They give me energy. And I love being social and talking to people and see what makes them tick and what gives them energy and what makes them excited. But yeah, all throughout childhood, I was in the business. At age 13, I actually started punching the time clock and having more structured hours where, okay, you're working here from such and such a time, and this is what you need to get done.
You got paid at that point.
Yeah, exactly. And then after high school, I was thinking about college. I was thinking about working construction because I was thinking, like, a lot of my friends, they got out of high school and they started working construction. I'm like, that'd be really neat to just learn a trade and learn to see what that's all about, being able to work outside more. And so I looked into that and looked at different things, and actually ended up staying in the family business where right out of high school, I started managing some different departments and got my CDL license, started being a buyer, and just did different things like that. And always really, really felt honored, and it's great to be part of this business from little on up. And I always had a learning culture where I was always going to seminars and always going to different college type classes throughout the year, because I love to learn. I love to do things with excellence, and I love to always be improving whatever is in my sphere of influence to affect and so I can make a difference. So me making a difference is really, really important, where I can create an atmosphere and a culture where people are cared for, people feel felt, and people feel valuable. So, I mean, part of our vision, values, and mission is to serve all with honor and integrity. And I want to do that well, and I want to leave that as a legacy.
That's awesome. In fact, I know on your website, I'm pretty sure you have an item, you have some information in there on employees and things that employees have said, and of course, that speaks to that culture. But can you talk a little bit about your staff? I mean, being the largest buffet in America, I think you have to employ a lot of people, and it's not just the buffet; it's the farm market and the gift shop. And how many people are employed up there?
Yeah, it's close to 800 people that that are employed here, and
wow,
and it's a lot of part-time people.
Yeah.
A lot of people. This might be their first job they ever had, and we feel like really, and it's a big thing when parents can trust us with somebody that when their child that he might be 15 years old, it's the first job he ever had, and they're literally putting them here and trusting that we'll do a great job in mentoring them and training them and treating them with respect and dignity and helping them succeed at work. So we take that really, really seriously. We have a great HR team. Diane Adamchek, she's the head of our HR office, the human resource office. She's been with us 45 years. And we have a lot of people that have been here 20, 30, 40 years. And literally, I feel that's the heartbeat of what makes us successful is the amazing employees that work here and just do really, really great job. Not only work hard, but treat each other and customer with just really, really valuable.
That's awesome. I was going to ask, if there's an employee that's been there. I mean, your family, and I'm sure there's other family that's part of the business, and they've been there from the start. But I was wondering if there was any employees that have been there, kind of the same thing from the start. 45 years. That's awesome. Kudos to her. And I'm sure all of these folks that have been around 20, 30, 40 years, they are, I mean, they're not family by blood, but they are family in the business. And I'm sure that, everybody feels that connectiveness, who works there. So, I mean, 800 people, that's awesome. That's amazing. Go ahead.
Yeah, we have a lot of long-term employees. And my brother also, Phil Weaver, he's an owner also in the business. And so both of us are just, we're privileged to work with a lot of employees that have been here as long as we've been here. My brother's older than myself, and we've both been here in our minds forever, because since we're little, and we have employees that were here even longer than that. And so that's really, really, I think, something unique and rare that we get to steward.
Well, and you spoke to the guy from Wilkes-Barre who comes down often, and I'm sure there's tons of stories like that where people come often. You can't build a business to, what did you say, 300,000 square feet or something of stuff. You can't build a business that size without great people, and that shows. People wouldn't come over and over again and drive 3 and 4 and 5 hours if they're going to have a crummy experience because there's a bad employee or two. Like, you have to have that great culture, and you've cultivated that. So kudos to you. That's so fantastic. I don't want to have the show end without asking, like, obviously being the largest buffet in the U.S., that's the part of the draw. But like, what makes Shady Maple so unique? I mean, you can see 2,000 people, but like, what is it about the food? I mean, there's the experience, all the other things that you can do, but maybe you could talk a little bit about the food and the buffet itself. Like, what makes it so attractive for people to come over and over again from hours and hours and states away?
Great question. Literally, we had an executive team meeting last week, and I jokingly said this, but the more I thought about it, I'm like, that actually, I kind of like the statement. I jokingly told them, I said, we're sort of providing the Ritz-Carlton Chick-fil-A experience here.
Okay. Yeah.
And I feel like everybody looked at me like, what do you mean? Well, if you've ever been to Ritz-Carlton, yes, we're not super high-end like a Ritz-Carlton.
Right.
But our customer service is at that level where it's just amazing customer service, where all our employees desire, hopefully, is just to provide that kind of customer service. And Chick-fil-A is another great example of a place that has great customer service.
No question.
And great food experience. And so I feel like, our food is way more high-end and different than a Chick-fil-A.
Sure.
And maybe not as high-end and gourmet as a Ritz-Carlton. So I tell a lot of people, it's just simple food done really, really well. It's anything from mashed potatoes to prime rib to steak to 7 different kinds of fish on a Tuesday night to all these simple fishes and meals and meat and potatoes and chicken and wings. That's done really, really well to excellence. But yet, yes, we don't have caviar and lobster and king crab legs like some people might, but we're going to have about everything else. I mean, literally, it's 200 foot of food that you can pick from, literally. So out of 200 feet of food, you should be able to find something you like.
What are we looking at here? What is it on the screen?
Yeah, every now and then we do something just for fun. And one of the things that I do every year for fun is we do a 50-pound cheeseburger where we make it outside over a charcoal grill. And it's literally 50-pound cheeseburger when it's done. And then we just cut it up in small samples like sliders.
Look at that.
And we just hand it out for free. So we do a lot of things like that just for fun because I enjoy fun. If I'm not having fun at work, I feel my day just, that was a failure of a day. So every day I need to have fun somehow. And this is one way we can do it. Another part of this summer, we'll do a 7-foot high ice cream sundae. And we'll just literally scoop it out for free. So we do all kinds of crazy and neat things like that. We'll do pony rides.
Yep.
In the back, we have a pasture. We have a Pacos. People can see the Pacos. And we just do all kinds of like literally fun, unique things. And I think that's why we have so many Facebook friends, is because of the uniqueness and the fun, emotional things we're doing. I mean, we recently hit 200,000 Facebook friends, and
that's
To
unbelievable.
me is a deal that we're able to. There you're seeing a picture of our 36-inch wide whoopie pie we make every year. And but we just do a lot of fun, unique things like that where, it helps keep the people on Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest, helps keep them, not bored, where they enjoy the different content. And so that's always fun. Recently we had a Strictly Dumpling came. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but he's a social media influencer. And he called himself Strictly Dumpling, but he literally has 4.2 million followers.
Oh, wow.
And he came here and unannounced and said, "Hey, can I do a little video presentation of eating a meal?" We're like, "Sure, why not?"
Yeah.
So he videoed himself eating a meal and basically did comments the whole way through it, posted it on his social media, and it had literally millions of hits really quickly. So we allow any influencer come and do that. We welcome them here, and we'll set up whatever they need set up to make their experience really good.
Well, gosh, 50-pound cheeseburger, 36-inch wide whoopie pie, and a 7-foot tall ice cream sundae. You're speaking my language, man. That's unbelievable. So cool. So cool. And I love that you make it fun. And like that answers the question, like, why do people come over and over again? Kind of the secret sauce of the people providing the experience, and of course the amazing food, and just doing fun things like a 50-pound cheeseburger. I mean, God bless you, 50-pound cheeseburger. That's awesome. Is there a food? I was, just when Chris was scrolling through the pictures, and I should say, we at Lancaster Connects, we do a terrible job. We always highlight we've had some restaurants on, we've had some bakers and like amazing food, and Chris shows the images of but we never have the food to eat here in the afternoon. We got to do better, like do on location or something like that. But I saw wings, scrolling by. I don't know that I've ever seen wings at a buffet before, but makes sense. Is there a food item that people seem to enjoy? Like I know you said steak. I'm sure the steak is super popular. Is there a food item or two that people seem to really seek you out for?
Probably, or believe it or not, probably one of the most famous things that we're known for is our brisket.
Oh,
we have a brisket all the time, and it's literally, we do a 12 to 14 hour cook on it with hickory smoked chips, and our brisket, I would put it up against anybody's. And then that's another thing that we're really, really known for is our prime rib is absolutely amazing. Every Wednesday night we have a prime rib. We have a roast beef that we slow cook 12 hours that's something that people literally come back for, saying, I came back just for your roast beef. So it's all simple foods, but we do it the old fashioned way. We if it takes a long time to do it right, we'll take a long time and do it the way it needs to be done to have everything cooked to perfection.
That's great. So in putting this show together, of course, something I've known for a long time, and I've had friends that do this. You do a free birthday meal, right? A free meal on birthdays. Is that correct? Still do that? That's
probably been our biggest, most successful promotion that we have ever done in the history of Shady Maple. Is many, many years ago, we had this idea of, hey, people love to celebrate birthdays and love to go out to eat for their birthdays. So why not offer every single person on their birthday a completely free meal, drinks included, dessert included, appetizer, everything? Because when you come to our buffet, everything is included, drink everything. There's no extra fees way after you're through the door. And so we did this promotion, and we asked a lot of our employees, like, what do you think about it? Should we do it? Should we do it? And quite a few employees were very negative. They're like, this will never work, and we can't afford to do it. It's going to hurt our profits, our bottom line. And so finally we decided, hey, we're going to try it. And it's literally been the best promotion ever, because a lot of people, especially when they go to our restaurant, they bring out all their friends and family and relatives and in-laws, and they throw a big party. You'll often see tables of 20, 30 people with balloons and the whole 9 yards. Everybody's dressed up and celebrating the person having a birthday and just having a great time. And they'll hang out for 2 hours. And we welcome that. We're like, go for it. Like, have a great time, enjoy it. And you'll hear people saying happy birthday at the top of their lungs, and everybody around them is joining in. I just saw that again on Saturday, where somebody, one table at her birthday, they started saying happy birthday. About 15 tables around them joined in. And that's just awesome. A really cool experience to be able to feel the energy in the room when that was going on. And the last couple of years, we hit almost 90,000, almost 100,000 free birthdays each year. We give away almost 100,000 free birthdays every single year.
Wow. I mean, that's so cool. I mean, kudos to you for like spearheading that concept, putting it in place. Because you were talking about the social media presence you have. Like, that's the sort of thing, and that's where I see it. I see people going to Shady Maple for their free birthday meal at Shady Maple, and they're posting about it. So, like, you not only have that person that's bringing their family, potentially 20 people plus whatever, and then they can, you have the other experience that they can experience and invest in while they're there getting their free birthday meal, but they're telling all their friends and family about it. And if they're not doing it on social media, they're doing it, in just, face-to-face conversations with neighbors and friends and family. So yeah, it's such a cool thing that you do there. I know you also do catering, takeout meals. Obviously that's a little different concept than the buffet. How do they work?
Yeah, catering will come to your location up to an hour away. And my daughter got married last June. Obviously, we catered the meal, did a fantastic job. It was a great experience.
That's cool.
And it was my daughter tried to get married down in on the Chesapeake Bay. So it was a destination wedding, and we catered it, and everything went great. Meals ago, that's something we started pretty recently, where people can literally get a takeout container at customer service in the Smorgasbord, go into the buffet, 200 foot of food, pick out anything they want, pay one price by the pound when they leave. They weigh it, they pay for it. They can take it home and eat it hot. They can take it home and refrigerate it, heat it back up, whatever they want to do. So it was a really nice way to allow people to have our great food, not just here, but at home also, or in their car, or wherever they want to take it.
How big is this box? Because I would think if you've got, you say 200 feet of food?
Yeah, we have 200-foot buffet line, so they can have as many boxes they want or any size box they want. We'll supply it.
Oh, really? Okay, so one price, you get whatever you can fit in the box. So.
It's all by the pound. So if you want to put 10 pounds of food in a box or half a pound, you pay accordingly.
Okay, that makes more sense. Because I'm thinking, if you're limited to this like box, whatever size box it is, how do you possibly pick between 200 feet of food? Oh my goodness! Wow. So that take them as you said started more recently. That maybe a a result of COVID? Maybe people not dining in as much during that period, and you kind of pivoted and did the takeout box concept?
Yeah, actually it did. Like during COVID, when we needed to close, it was a very stressful time.
Well,
we weren't sure what's going to happen. A lot of employees, obviously, we were closed. We weren't sure. So one of the things we did is we offered a drive-up service for people to drive up to our carport at the Smorgasbord, and we would hand them a meal, whatever they ordered, through the window, and they would pay for it and leave again. And so sort of it built off of that concept where people like that and take food home, and now we can offer it all the time.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So I think we covered a lot. One of the things I learned during the research is you have some famous fans and people that have visited Shady Maple. One is the Fonz, Henry Winkler. I think there was a news article that I saw.
He was there several times.
What's that?
He was there several times. He really likes it.
It's so cool. I mean, the Fonz, right? And of course,
it's funny. Like some people recognize them, but a lot of younger people are like, never heard of them.
Well, right. And of course,
I recognize him because I thought that show was great when I was little.
Absolutely. And of course, he's, how many years more, 35, 40 years older than he was on that show, but he's had a number of iconic roles and other things. I loved him in the show about 10 years ago, Arrested Development. He was fantastic in that show. But so the Fonz is a fan of Shady Maple. Are there anybody else, any other famous visitors who have come to Shady Maple or people that talk about it? Do you know of anybody else?
We see a lot of different people that are celebrity status or even politicians, things like that. Okay. We try to make sure that most people, when they're coming here, they want to sort of be undercover, under the radar, and not made a big deal about it. So we try to honor that. And
that makes sense.
But every now and then, the word people start talking, and employees or customers will see somebody, and then all of a sudden a crowd will gather around them and be like, "Oh boy, I hope it's okay." Yeah, but it happens quite often.
That's cool. That's cool. And I get it. You have to respect their privacy, and that's cool. I just thought it was funny that the Fonz is a fan of Shady Maple. Next time if he's coming, you have to put like some sort of like promo together. Get an old jukebox and get him to bump it, and that'd be cool. Well, Lin, this has been great. I loved hearing the history of Shady Maple, literally a roadside stand under a maple providing shade. That's super cool. I'm glad you were able to tell that story and share your history with the business, talk about all the great things you've got going on there. There he is. He gives it an A. That's great. Oh, the internet, it never fails to provide. I loved hearing you talk about your employees and the effort that they put forth to provide an amazing experience to all of your, what did you say? How many people do you serve in a year?
Oh my, I don't know that. That's memorized, but
you said
20 to 30,000 people will come on the plaza per week.
Okay, wow. So
all depending on the obviously holiday weeks will have quite a few more people that it ebbs and flows.
Yeah. So, kudos to your staff, everybody, the employees that have been there 20, 30, 45 years. Just, an amazing business you have there, all the businesses that are there. The website is shady-maple.com. You can learn about more about Shady Maple right there. A lot of great things on there. You can learn more about the weddings and banquets. I know you have a meeting space that people can reserve. Of course, you can learn more about the birthday meal and everything that's there. I see gift cards, and whatnot there. So, go check out shady-maple.com. Lin, I've got a few more questions to learn a little bit more about you. I feel like we got to know you a little bit during the time where you're talking about growing up in the business, but I have a few questions for you if you have a few more minutes for us.
Sure, go for it.
So I have to ask this. Do you have a favorite food at Shady Maple?
Do I have a favorite food at Shady Maple? Well, that's a good question.
200.
My wife would tell me that I like variety. So like I'll get a little bit of each item, like one spoonful of each item, because I love like trying different variety and making sure they taste great. And so I don't even know if I could put my finger on one food that, I mean, I like to cook myself too. So I love to take home some food and cook it at home and have that experience at home also. But there'd be one thing that is absolute. If you force me to pick an item, I'd probably say our donuts. Like we have literally buffet of donuts put out every breakfast at the Smorgasbord. And then we also sell them in the grocery store too, of course, our donuts. But we make over 3 million donuts every single year from scratch. And our donuts are absolutely amazing. I mean, they're the size of they're really a large donut. And I tell people you should eat only half a donut because they're that large. Wow, and share it with your wife or your best friend or something, because it's but our donuts, especially the cream filled donuts, it's just, they're unbelievable. They're really good.
That's great answer. You know, we didn't even mention breakfast, but Chris scrolled through a few breakfast, or the breakfast line up there. I would think a breakfast buffet has got to be as good as the dinner buffet. I mean, breakfast food is awesome, but I love that you said donuts out of everything. And for me, it would be hard to eat, like share a donut. I mean, that's get a donut, you're going to eat the whole thing. Look at that. Oh man. All right. Question number 2. We're gonna switch gears and not talk about food. Growing up, you were involved in the business, and you mentioned, maybe after college doing something related to a trade or doing something outside. But did you have like a dream job? Some people want to be baseball players, firefighters, whatever. Did you have a dream job growing up?
Well, growing up, I mean, obviously I grew up, as I said earlier, in the business where I was watching my parents work and do life and do business and work with different employees. And probably my dream job would growing up would have been to do what my dad did, because I really saw him. Work gave him energy and excitement and happiness, and he loved serving people and seeing people smile. And so that always was my dream job, to be able to do that someday and be able to do what he did and make it even better and greater and bigger than he did. In a humble way, of course. And I don't want to sound like, but that probably was my biggest dream job. Is I had other aspirations through high school where some of my friends would be like, what about this? What about that? And I thought it'd be cool to sometime own apartments and be a landlord and then things like that, or have a big construction business. I thought of all them things, but I kept circling back to, this is really what I'm designed for. This is where God wants me. And I was always, happy about that.
That's really cool. And I think it was a perfect match. It was kind of a match made for you, right? Growing up in it, but I mean, perfect match because, like you said, you were able to grow the company, but man, you provide such an experience for the community and beyond. It's really, really cool. So, last question. Obviously you grew up in Lancaster County. And one of the, I think, unique things about Pennsylvania and, Lancaster in general is we really get, 4 unique seasons, right? You live in other parts of the world. Let's say Florida, for example, you get hot and you get not as hot, or like here you get really true 4 seasons. And actually right now we're experiencing an autumn. A lot of times it gets goes from super hot to super cold, and you don't get a lot of in between. So we're actually getting an autumn right now, which is fantastic. But do you have a favorite season, or do you have a season you consider to be Lancaster's best season?
Well, when I was young, my best season was definitely winter. I love snow. Oh, but I don't know what happened. When I hit 40, that all changed. I now like warm weather. I don't like cold weather anymore. I don't know what changed. I still like snow, but the older I get, the more I much prefer warmer weather. And probably if I had to pick what I like the most now, it would definitely be fall. There's something about the beautiful farms that we live around and the mountains that we live around, and seeing all the different colors, the fall, the leaves changing, and the farmers harvesting all the different crops and produce, everything else. And there's something about that is just like really, really unique and beautiful with the.
I agree.
So I like the hot weather, but obviously fall is even better yet, where it's not quite so hot. And I love being outside. I love doing. My wife and I will often go for a 2 or 3 mile walk after work, and just to be outside and in the country. And if I had to pick, I'd probably say fall.
Yeah, I agree. I'm a late summer, early fall fan. I love that September into October, November. Of course, you got Thanksgiving coming up. I agree. Autumn's pretty nice. Well, Lin, this has been great. Really, thank you so much for taking about an hour of your time out of your. I'm sure you got a lot to do. 800 employees. You got some things to do, I'm sure. But I really appreciate you spending a little bit of time with us on the Lancaster Connects podcast and sharing all the great things that you have going on at the Shady Maple complex. This has been a lot of fun.
Well, thanks again. Thanks for the opportunity. You guys do a great job.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Have a great rest of the afternoon. Appreciate it.
No.
Take care.
Have a blessed day.
Yeah.
See you later.
Thank you. Oh man, that was so cool. One of the great things about doing this show, like I love meeting new people. I've never met Lin before. I'd like to go up and meet him in person sometime, and just experience the Shady Maple experience again. But love learning about businesses and the how they started, humble beginnings, roadside stand, and now they serve hundreds of thousands of people annually. They have the gift shop, and they have the farm market, which was before the buffet restaurant, but literally the largest buffet restaurant in the United States is right here in Lancaster County, and I don't know that's not really a secret. I mean, everybody knows Shady Maple and all that they do up there, but it was really cool just hearing about Lin's parents and grandparents and how the business started and grew to what it is now. So great. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, if you've got a great story to tell, or you're doing great things in the community, or you have a business or organization, or would like to nominate somebody that would be a great guest for us to have on the show, go to lancasterconnects.com/guest, or just go to lancasterconnects.com. Up on the menu bar, you'll see a guest button there. Send us a form request and tell us why you'd be a good fit for the show, and we'd love to have you on. At the moment, we're booking into February. We've got not only do we have sponsors now, we have 2+ months worth of guests booked, which is awesome. A lot of great guests through the rest of the year, and I believe January is filled up at the moment. So we'd love to tell your story. If you've got events coming up in 2024, that let's say you have an event in May and you want to be maybe 2 or 3 shows in advance of May, you'd like to tell the story, tell what the event is. We'd love to share that on the show. Go to lancasterconnects.com/guest and fill out the form there. All of our past episodes, this is episode 119. We're coming up on our really, we'll be going into our 4th year of doing this, which is really, really kind of cool. All of our past episodes live on the Lancaster Connects website, lancasterconnects.com/episodes. You can check it out there. Also, our contest, I'll mention the contest again, Vanskoy, Maurer & Bash Jewelers. If you're looking for a gorgeous engagement ring that shines from across the room, I'll have to read this, or a piece of jewelry to celebrate a milestone anniversary or a family, their family-owned business is here to help you find the perfect gift. Like I said, mention Lancaster Connects when you go to Vanskoy, Maurer & Bash Jewelers, and mention Lancaster Connects. You get $100 off any purchase over $400. Really nice 25% off savings there up to that $400 mark. So $100 off purchase over $400. And on the Lancaster Connects website, where I was going with that, you'll see at the top on the far right side the contest button. The Vanskoy, Maurer & Bash Jewelers generously donated $200 set of earrings as our contest gift. And all you have to do is go to lancasterconnects.com/contest, get your entry in, subscribe to the emails, which is how you enter. And then you have the opportunity to unlock 3 more entries. Go to the Facebook page, like us, like Lancaster Connects on Facebook, subscribe to YouTube, Lancaster Connects channel, and subscribe to the podcast player. Subscribe on there, and that's another way to enter. So lancasterconnects.com/contest. Go ahead and enter. You got 2 more weeks, and then the following week after that, we'll announce the winner. Just a couple of things. Lancaster Connects, Lancaster Connects is produced by Gardner's Mattress and More, and we produce the show. And so this is kind of the paying the bills, if you will. So Gardner's Mattress and More is your wake up happy store. And we literally wrote the book on how to sleep better, some helpful sleep tips and information. There's a lot you can do to improve your sleep without even considering a mattress. Obviously, a mattress is a very important piece. You know, having a properly supportive and comfortable and pressure relieving mattress is very important for good sleep and happy morning wake ups. But there's a lot you can do to improve your sleep just by reading the tips in this book. One of the things I'm going to mention here, just read it out of the book, is going to bed at consistent times. Now, this is something I am not good at. Freely admit this, and I do feel tired from time to time, middle of the afternoon and whatnot. But I go to the gym a few times a week, and I get up super early to do that, so it doesn't mess with family time or anything like that, or the things I need to do for Gardner's or Lancaster Connects. But so I'm not good at this. But if you can go to bed and get up at consistent times, having a good balanced life goes a long way towards getting that good sleep your body needs regularly. Basically, it's going to bed at a consistent time every night and waking up at a consistent time every morning. So yeah, I mean, you can choose what that is, and getting enough sleep, 6, 7.5 hours, 9 hours, whatever it is, that's important too. You don't want to sleep just 3 hours, right? But go to bed at 10 o'clock every night and get up at 7 a.m. every morning. Whatever they are, whatever works for you is your opportunity to pick, but try to make it consistent every day. Go to bed at the same time, wake up at the same time. Your body will fall into this rhythm, and it's important. I know there's times where, like on a Saturday morning, my body wakes up at 4:40 because it feels like it's going to go to the gym, but it's definitely not at that time on a Saturday morning. But it's just used to doing that during the week. So anyway, Sleep Better book will mail you your own physical copy. Lots of helpful sleep tips and information. Go to gardnersmattressandmore.com/sleep-better. It's right there on the screen. Last thing, testimonial time for Gardner's Mattress and More. We had a nice online review. You can't see that. Come in on Google. Google's a great place to give us a review. If you have some kind words to share and a 5-star review, we'd love to earn that for you. But a person named John bought a mattress over the weekend, and he wrote he found Chad to be very knowledgeable and forthright. It's what we always try to do here, give you the good, honest information that we can, kind of tell it to you straight, right? There's a lot of stores that, where you might be treated like a number and they say whatever they can say to make a sale. We don't do that here. We tell you what's in the product, how it can get you a better night's sleep, feedback from past customers that have the same mattress or, have similar sleep issues that we've helped, that you might have. So, knowledgeable and forthright. That's what we tried to do. Chad guided us to the correct mattress and explained in detail how to get the most out of the mattress buying experience at Gardner's. So, thank you to John. Thank you to Chad for the experience he provided. Chad, Phil, Drew, our team here at Gardner's, they do a fantastic job on the sales floor, and our delivery team, give them a shout out, Nick and John. They physically bring the mattress into the house, take the old one out. They do a fantastic job as well. And a lot of times our testimonials mention them as well. So thank you. Thank you to our great customers who leave wonderful reviews for us. I think that's about it. We've got a great show next week planned. Again, go to lancasterconnects.com/guest. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, go to lancasterconnects.com/contest. Enter the contest. Thank you to our sponsor, Vanscoy, Maurer and Bash Jewelers. All month of November, they are the sponsor of our guests and the show in that month. Thanks for the folks watching. I saw my dad commented there during the show. I didn't get to mention it during the show, but there he is. He loves Shady Maple. So, Pops, you got a birthday coming up. Maybe we can hit up Shady Maple here. So I don't know if you're available. It's your birthday on a Monday. I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe we can figure it out. Thanks for commenting during the show, and I think that's a wrap. We'll see you on the next side, or see you on the other side. Is that what it is? Yeah. Till the next connection. There we go.